I think I've got everybody, and welcome everyone to our very first BERNINA Canada live. I'm doing this solo. My camera woman bailed on me. She said that she needed to social distance up in her bedroom and do her physics homework. So it's just you and me, guys. We're going to do what we can, all right? So I'm so glad to see everybody. Hey, there's Angie from Creekbank. Good to meet you. And Eileen from Edmonton. Great to see you guys. So again, my name is Adrienne and I'm a product educator from BERNINA Canada. And as you can see, I am not in my natural environment, which is the head office of BERNINA Canada. I am in my home sewing hub, which is great. And I want to welcome you for coming and thanking you for coming and joining me here from wherever you are. And thanks so much for sharing where you are. It's making me really happy and I'm so glad that you're here with me. So as we wait for the last few people to join, I want to just go through a little bit of business here. I want to let you know about some changes we're doing at BERNINA Canada. Woo! If you've been following our Facebook page, you will notice the increased level of content. We've got more how-tos, more videos, more demonstrations, more projects, and we hope to do more of these things. You're going to get at least 2 posts a day, and I hope we are even going to do some more of these live presentations. So what I'd love to know is, what do you want to see? What do you want me to talk about? I know that my machine is going to get a workout this weekend, and I'm going to take Gladys to the spa on next week, which means move her from one desk to another and give her a full cleaning. So maybe that'll be our topic for next week. But if you can think of something better, send it my way. Put it in the comments here, or if you want to send it privately, you can go to bernina.com, and on the homepage at the bottom, there's a Contact Us page, and you can send your comments right in there, and they go right to my boss, and he screens them and sends them to me. Perfect. So do that. We'd love to hear your ideas. You may have noticed that we launched a YouTube channel. And on there right now, we have mostly playlists from BERNINA International, so you can learn your machine. We have playlists or projects, and we have the new and exciting BERNINA Made to Create Studio Online. And those are all projects that we do in BERNINA Club in the stores, and we're now doing that online. So you can join in there. There's often project sheets to go with that, and we'll link that in the description. So check out our YouTube channel. You're going to see some homemade videos by me about machines and how to use your machine there's a lot of buttons on those machines and how to maximize them and customize it for your best performance. Get it to do what you want. I'm so sorry, my hand is shaking. I'm in the basement and it's cold. I had to turn the heater off because it would be too loud. All right. So those will be coming. And then we have a celebrity playlist by Laura Koya from So Very Easy. Laura has a great YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to her channel, what are you waiting for? She's a wonderful Canadian from Niagara Falls, and she does really easy projects that are going to make you look real smart with your friends. And gosh, darn it, I just love looking real smart in front of my friends. So sign up for Laura's YouTube channel or check her out. I'm going to have like a best of Laura playlist on our YouTube channel, and you can just watch like 400 Laura videos. That would be a perfect sewing day for me. So look for that. Yeah, so lots of new content coming. So remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll be the first to know when we have new content on there. Well, great. I'm glad everybody's here. I want to remind you, we also have a new Pinterest board set up. So check out Pinterest. It's really hard to find us on Pinterest. You just type in BERNINA Canada. You'll get right to that site. So we've got lots of free patterns there, inspiration and ideas. There's 3 boards up there right now. My favorite one is the free motion one. It's full of motifs, and you can watch little videos on how to do great free motion motifs. So much fun. And I think I'm going to put another one up next week about Father's Day and sewing for men, because we just don't do enough sewing for men. So that's going to be my next topic. So look for a new board going up next week. Great. Edith from Heart's Delight, Newfoundland. Oh my gosh, I miss you guys in Newfoundland. I can't wait to go back there. All right. So I think my dad's here. We can move on. So, I forgot to tell you. I was sweet talking the boss, and I found some big book of feet in my office in Whitby, and one night I'll sneak over there and get them. Hey, Chantal from Higlet. And he's allowed us that we can give those away with some little easy challenges. So these are going to be really easy challenges, like show me your stash, or how many Berninas do you have, or what's your Bernina name, or something like that. And I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun with it. So that's great. All right. So why are we making this mask today? I have to tell you, I had a virtual sewing circle party 2 weeks ago, and I adamantly said I would not sew a mask. And then one of my best friends, Becky, reached out to me for some elastic for her mom. Her mom was sewing masks for the series of healthcare facilities that Becky helps to run. And these masks were predominantly for office staff and not frontline workers, because we want to preserve the PPE for the frontline workers. But it got so dire in her place that these were probably going to be used for the direct medical workers. So I was helping her mom, and her mom sent me this great video, and we modified it a little bit, and I thought that you might be interested in it too. So now, the legalese. My disclaimer is, fabric masks are not guaranteed to prevent infection of any kind, but they are proven to lessen the spread of any disease you might be carrying. In other words, this mask that we're making today is not really to protect you. It's really to protect others when you go out in the community, and also don't go out in the community. Please refer to your local public health authority in your region. Canada is a vast country. Our protocols vary from province to province and territory to territory. Recently, the Chief Public Health Officer of Canada, she used kind of gentle, suggestive language to suggest that using a fabric mask in public was a good idea. So I'm asking you, please use your judgment, your common sense, when it comes to the use of fabric masks. All right, I think you've had enough of me. Let's look at the project. All right, look at this. I'm going to try to turn the camera around, but I've lost that button. Here it is. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm learning things every day. So nice to be with you. So let's take a look at the project. Do you love my Bernina mat? I wonder if the boss would let us give away some of these Bernina mats. I'll talk to him. Okay, so here's our mask. It features elastic to keep it close to the face. It features a nose pinch, boop, so we can make it really close to our face over the nose. It's got some pleats so that it can accommodate the curvature of our face. And boop, 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 we've got a pocket here so that we can add an additional optional filter. And right now, the filter of choice in the healthcare community that I have talked to is a coffee filter, because it's food grade, it's very, very safe. Tissue also works well. Paper towel works well. Extra fabric works well. Use your discretion. Use something safe that you think is going to work well for you. All right, so that's our project. Most of you know that we did create a project page for this, and you can find this on mybernina.com now. It's under... help me out here. Click and create, and under sewing projects, sewing download. So, hey everybody, I'm glad you're great in Manitoba. I'm glad you're safe there, from Oakville. And Tracy, I think you beat me. You have 150 masks. Oh my gosh, thanks for doing all of this. All right, so to make the mask, if you were following along with the project sheet, I'm so glad I prepared all this. Everything's in the wrong order, but that's okay. You'll need, what will you need? You need 2 pieces of fabric, an outside fabric. They're asking it to be a medium to dark color, and a lining fabric. I suggest a light color. You need a little bit of elastic. I'm using 4mm elastic, but there's also, if you have baby elastic or this round type, that's great too. That works great too. Has anybody run out of elastic yet? So if you've run out of elastic, what you can do is use jersey material. I'm going to use some jersey material here. This is a leftover t-shirt jersey material, and just cut it into 3/4 inch strips. And if you pull on this, it becomes a really nice, comfortable rope, and you can use that just instead of elastic. So I hope you'll try that. And later on, you could also use longer binding. That would work as well. So you need some binding, about 10 inches of binding. Oops, where's my binding? Here it is. So there you go. All right. So here we are. Hey, do you guys see me now? All right. Sorry about that. Here we go. Oh, I'm glad Angie found more meters of elastic. That's great. So here is the binding. You guys know how to make binding. You just fold it in half and then fold the edges into the center and press again, and bingo bango, you have binding. And you can just put that aside for a while. So that's great. All right, the next step is to zigzag the edges of your fabric. I used my number 2A foot, and it just goes like this. And the 2A foot has a little pin in it. Do you see that? And that holds the edge of the fabric. If you don't have a number 2 foot, you could just zigzag it with a regular zigzag foot or a clear foot, or if you have a serger, you could do it with your serger. That would be great. So then you're going to put your fabrics together, right sides together, and just make a marking 1.5 inches from the side. And there you go. We're just going to sew in from the side to the mark, back tack, and do the same thing here. Make sure you back tack and sew out to the edge of the fabric. I'll show you what that looks like. Bingo. There we go. We've got our little seam here and our little seam here. And then all you need to do is press that baby open. So we're going to press and press because we're trying to create the opening on the mask. That's what we're making. Let me show you on the one I've already pressed. Here it is. Boom, we've pressed it. Looks great, right? And here's my opening. And now you just want to top stitch all this fabric down. And you'll notice on one of my fabrics, I did not zigzag because this is actually going to be encased in the nose piece. So I just left it raw because it saved a little bit of time. All right, so then you could use your number 10, zoom, 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 because number 10 has that little blade in the bottom. It'll run right along the edge of the fabric. I hope you have a number 10 at home, right, Chantel? I know you have one. And just move your needle position over to the right or the left and sew all the way along there and turn your fabric around, sew all the way back. And let me show you what that looks like. It creates a really nice crisp opening. There we go. Can you see my opening? There it is. Looks great, right? See how nice it is with the number 10? If you don't have a number 10, use any foot and just stay real straight. But if anybody's met me sewing, you know I don't sew super straight. So I let the machine do it for me. That's what makes me look even smarter. Okay, once you've got that ready, you just fold it in right sides together again and create a tube by sewing along this edge. I hope that makes sense. Cool. Now you've created your tube and you turn it the right side out. And yeah, Janet, she used ties with her old t-shirts. That was great. So you turn it inside out and just roll the fabric so a bit of the lining comes over the top. See my opening now? I've created the nose piece and I've created the pocket by rolling it. And this is going to create the filter pocket on the outside. If you prefer the filter pocket to be on the inside, you could do that. You just roll it this way. Come on, little guy. Right? You could just roll it this way. Doing this one-handed is tough. There you go. And now you've created the filter pocket over on this side. The reason I like it this way is that the lining shows at the top and I can identify my mask, the top of my mask right away. And I can tell the front and the back of the mask right away. So I just like it this way. Use your discretion. This is what's so great about sewing. You can customize it however you want. So then we're ready to sew all the way around the edges. So all the way around the edges with just a narrow seam. Here's my one with the narrow seam. Perfect. It's ready to go. See how nice it looks with my 10D foot? Nice and neat. Great. And then we're going to insert a twist tie or a pipe cleaner. I would suggest the plastic twist tie. This is going to be the most comfortable on your face. So this twist tie came off my new 480, off the electrical pedal. So thanks 480 for giving me that. But Marg, she has garden ties. They're plastic. She has garden ties and she used those. So that's great. So put your tie in there and away you go. And you will see, I'm going to use Wonder Clips to just hold that in place. And now I'm ready to take it back to the sewing machine and just sew like I did before with my number 10D foot, or number 10C foot, sorry. and the needle position over to the right. I'm actually going to sew right on top of that existing line. So it doesn't look, it looks really good. It's a nice clean finish. I'm going to show you. The twist tie from a bag of coffee beans. That's great. Maureen, I would not use tin foil. I would use, Maureen was saying, could you use tin foil? There was another article where a lady used a pie plate, so that thicker aluminum, and she cut a little 1 by 3 inch square, and then she folded all the raw edges in and folded it in just like as if you were making binding, right? She did it like that, and she folded all the raw edges in, and she used that as a nose piece, and I thought that was very clever. And also, if you happen to sew through it, it would be safe for your sewing machine. So I think try the aluminum disposable pie plate. Does the metal in the pipe cleaner not rust with repeated washings? I'm going to talk to you about care about this at the end. Linda, great question. All right, so here we go. So we put that in and we've sewed it down so that we've created the nose piece. This is the one with the pipe cleaner. You can see the green pipe cleaner and see how it's bendy. Great. So we've done that. Guys, we're more than halfway done this mask. That is fantastic. So there we go. Now all you need to do is create some pleats. So all you do is, I'm going to zoom out a bit, just pinch this down and use your Wonder clips. I'm just using that as a weight because I have only one hand. And you're going to clip this down. And you're going to repeat and make 3 pleats. The goal here is to make the side of your mask about 3.5 to 4 inches. Otherwise, it's kind of too big on your face. It's quite uncomfortable. So let me show you the one I did. So here's one that I pleated just by hand. And you could make it like a little jig. That would do great. And now you can see this is a little less than 4 inches. So that's perfect. That's just what we want. Groovy. And then you just tack it down. Guess what I used? I used my number 10 and I just tacked it down on the side. Same sewing setting and didn't change anything. And now we're ready to apply binding. So that's great. All right, now of course I've lost the binding piece because I need that. I found it. Here's my binding piece. So you're gonna open up your binding, right side up, and this is all in the project page, so double check the project page. Everything I'm saying is there except a couple of the hints, and I'll tell you what I haven't said. There's a great hint coming up here. I like to attach it this way. I'm gonna put the mask with the back of the mask to the front of the binding. And notice that I left the binding hanging out about 2 millimeters. I'm going to let it hang out like that, but 2 millimeters. And the reason is this is going to create less bulk in the overall seam. That's where the elastic has to go. And there's a lot of fabric in here and it's hard to get the elastic in with all that fabric. But I also have a trick for the elastic, so hang on. But anyhow, so then we're ready to attach our binding. We're going to fold it over. I use about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. That just works for me. A quarter would be fine. Trim your binding and flip it up and pin it in place. Looks like, right? Pin it in place. So it's going to look just like this one. And then you're just going to sew from the back. You're going to sew on the fold that's closest to the edge. Cool. Looks just like this. See how I missed the edge too? That's all right. It's not going to show. You're going to do that to both sides, and then you're going to flip this baby over. Sorry. There we go. All right, so you're going to flip this over, and then I just use my iron, and I kind of, or finger press even, pull your corners in a little bit. Otherwise, you might get pointy corners over here. So just pull them in a bit. Where is my sample for that? Here you go. And then all you do to finish the binding is you fold it up, fold it over, and sew it closed right close to the seam. But then what I had to do is now in 30 masks, I had to insert elastic. Ugh, don't want to do that. So I came up with a faster trick, which was to put the elastic in, push it right to the edge, then fold this over and pin it in place. And now when you sew down here, you will not catch the elastic. The elastic is in there, and it saved you from having to watch 27 episodes of Matlock and put the elastic in. Ask me how I know. But anyhow, so hopefully that will help you. And then you get a mask like this. And what happens is I just give it to my friends like this with the elastic flat, and they can tie it together at the length that suits them. Supply about 12 inches of elastic, and or they can sew it closed, whatever works for them, and they end up with their finished mask. Comme ça! We made it. So the project page, Angie, is on BERNINA.com under click and create and sewing projects. And I also put it on the Facebook page today. There was a picture of the mask and the sewing machine. You'll see that. And also today's red announcement that said that we were going live at 3. It's on there as well. So check that out. All right, so here's your mask. It's ready to go. It's got its filter pocket. It's got its nose piece. It's ready to give or to use. My friend Nancy called me in about washing, and somebody earlier asked about this. So I would wash these by hand. Nancy is a nurse, and the way that she handles this is she fills a basin with very warm water and soap. No bleach. You don't need bleach for this, okay? Let your items sit in there for 5 minutes, swish the soap through it, rinse them out, swish and rinse them out, give them a good little pat, put them on a towel, put another towel on top, and apply a lot of pressure to dry it. All right, so just like you would treat fine lingerie or a handmade garment, you're going to treat it just like that. And then what she does to sanitize it, which is genius, she takes it over to the iron and she presses it with a hot dry iron, and that'll dry the last remnants of the water, and that way she can get it nice and clean and feels good that she's ready to go. The other thing I want to mention is for mask use, follow the guidelines set by your public health in your area. There's lots of good tips about not touching the mask when you put it on and take it off. Use the ear loops to put them on, and remember to wash them often. As soon as this is wet, it's really not good to wear anymore. So there you go. Can you use a quilt clip and remove the center piece? Bonnie, I'm not sure. I'm going to text with you and we'll be sure to understand. So I understand and can answer your question perfectly. So that's our project. If anybody else has any more questions, do bop in here and let me know. I'll try to answer them. Let me turn this around and we will close up here. Hang on one second. So we did it. We made a mask. Now we only have 487 more to make for all our friends and family and care workers and mailmen and everybody who's doing such a good job out there. Thanks so much for taking great care of us. And I just want to remind you that continue to subscribe to this page. You'll get lots of great projects, and look for Pinterest and all of that. And Anne brought up, should you pre-wash the fabrics before making the masks? You should absolutely 100% wash it. It's going to go on someone's face. So let's pre-wash everything. I know my stash fabric isn't washed either. I pulled some fabric that I was going to make a skirt from that I had pre-washed in 1998, and I re-washed it and pressed it again. I know it's tough. Us quilters are not used to that, so give it a shot. So anyway, I hope I'll see you guys again on Facebook. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry of my low production value. I'll do better next time. And hopefully I'll see you all in person real soon. Have a great day. Take good care of yourself. And do what my pal Dory the fish would do if she was a quilter. Just keep sewing. Love you, everyone. Bye.